Hello and welcome to 2026. Also, welcome to the It'll Be Fine podcast. I'm your host, Erica Bell. Let me give a little intro because it has been a while since I've done something like that. Like I just said, my name is Erica Bell. I am an entrepreneur. I own my own home organizing business. I am a mother of two little kids, 7 and 4. I have a lovely husband. We've been married. Well, this will be our 12th year of marriage. Kind of crazy. I started this podcast as a way to hopefully kind of gather some community, right? I've struggled with anxiety and depression a lot of my life, especially serious postpartum depression. I love podcasts, and I just think it's important to have a sense of community. Also, from the title of it, just kind of different ways that it's going to be okay. This is something my mom always says, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So now I'm just kind of providing myself with different ways that it's going to be fine. And by it, I mean life, your day, your week, in general. And hopefully giving you guys some brightness as well, some positivity. So happy 2026. If you were here last episode, we were kind of talking about the holidays and being in the swing of it. And I love the holidays, but I know it's not for everyone. So if you are one of those people and you are glad it's behind you, then kudos to you. I kind of teetered back and forth between I never want it to end and I want to soak up all this holiday time and, kind of lack of schedule, lack of commitment, and just the fun and the magic of the holidays. I kind of was on that teetering with mom and dad can hardly wait for school to start again. So ready or not, school's back in session. Real life, is back. And here we are. So the last couple years, I have not made New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, a vision board, a word. I used to love to do that kind of stuff. I'd have a big thing to make a vision board. I would be super serious about goals and resolutions and word or a phrase. And I love it. I do think that kind of stuff is important because not in like a woo-woo kind of way, but you need a roadmap, right? To what you're doing with your life, where you're going, what's happening. Otherwise, you're just kind of like wandering aimlessly. And I honestly think the last couple of years, I've kind of just wanted like my business to evolve organically. I didn't really know. I made goals, but not super structured of like, this is how much money I want to make. These are how many clients I want to serve, how many people I want to help. And I kind of was like trying to find the balance. I think I was still trying to find the balance of, I've had my business for a few years now. Let's see. I started it shortly after my son was born, when he was like not quite a year, I guess. So, and he'll be 5. So, anyways, almost a handful of years. And I've kind of gone back and forth between hustle, get as many clients, make as much money, help as many people to, okay, well, I still assume a lot of like the household responsibilities and the responsibilities with the children. So what can I do to bring balance, right? Because I can't work my tail off all day and then still do the majority of stuff at night. I was feeling very burnt out, very much like I've got to find the balance. And so then I kind of went to, okay, well, I'm going to be more lax about certain things and about, just not as like hustle, gung ho, but more focus on how things feel and mentally and maybe kind of restructure some things with my business. So this year, I got to try to figure all that out too. And let me just say this. Yes, we are in January. If you have not completed making goals or resolutions or intentions or setting a word or a phrase, it's okay. You can still do it. Just because you didn't have it prepared before the 1st of January doesn't mean you are a failure and therefore cannot make any goals for this year. Okay? Let me just say that. Because sometimes we're like, well, I didn't do it, so just whatever. Just, you kind of throw in the towel of like all or nothing. And it's like, honestly, you can make a goal at any point in your life, any day of the year. But of course, we all just kind of collectively like doing it. So you still have time. I would say do it before the end of January. That way you're kind of on this collective high with everyone of we're all accomplishing something together. So I am still working on my business goals, but one big thing that I want to do this year is find a hobby. My husband has golf and he has softball and pretty much sports. Sports are my husband's hobby. If you are married to a golfer, I feel your pain. It is a sport that takes a long time to play. Okay. I have golf clubs. I know how to golf. But right now, I have such limited time that that's not really where I find enjoyment. I like golfing, like, say, if my dad's in town, because it's something we can do together. Jeff and I used to occasionally do it together. I think it's a really good sport as a woman to know how to play. You can keep up with the boys. You can do it forever, pretty much. It's good for business. Anyways, I just don't want my time to go towards that. I don't find that much joy in it. I don't really love sports. Let me be clear about that. I love fitness. But golf is not my thing. So what I'm saying is I'm going to find a hobby this year. That is a main goal for me. I will feel very accomplished at the end of the year if I have found at least one new hobby. But one thing about that is if you are making a commitment to yourself, schedule it, right? If you are like me, I would never bail on a commitment that I had made to another person. But why is it so much easier to throw commitments to ourselves by the wayside? So I'm getting serious about this. I'm not just saying I want a hobby, but like I am scheduling something in my calendar. I'm making a commitment to myself and I'm going to take it seriously. I am going to find some fun, dang it, this year. Okay? I think that's one thing about having a hobby, right? It's good to like hustle and have goals for work, but it's also good just to have some fun. I'm going to try to be a little bit less rigid. I want to just have more fun. I think if you have kids, you know that sometimes you're just in survival mode and you're on the struggle bus. And I'm trying to shift away from that, bringing fun into my everyday life or, my weekly life. Yes, every day. I want to have fun every day. But I also, just like in the little moments, trying to really have some more joy. But then I want to get back to figuring out who am I? I love being a mom. I love being a wife. I love being a business owner and, being an entrepreneur. I love all of these labels that I've kind of fallen into. But I'm trying to kind of get back to like my core. I don't know if it's getting back to my core or it's getting to figure out who I am right now. But that's one thing that I'm trying to work on. So I started brainstorming different hobbies. Well, I didn't start brainstorming hobbies. I started brainstorming things that I love currently, things that I used to love to do. I started to think about what are skills that I really want to learn? What are things that are just fun that I enjoy? So if you're looking for a hobby too, I would suggest starting like that, right? It does not have to be anything official. It can just be a brain drain, a brain dump of like, here's all things I love. So for example, here are some of mine. Puzzles, coffee, traveling, ballet, going to the spa, fitness. Should I start a new sport? Should I do more hiking? Should I train for something? Reading. I love to write. I like to volunteer. Okay, so all of these things I'm going off of. And from that, I'm going to take it somewhere. So then I am going to dedicate something each week. Okay, this is what I'm trying to decide. Should it be weekly that I am trying to work on this hobby? Should it be every other week? Should it be once a month? Ideally, it would be weekly, but then also from not doing anything to going weekly, it seems like a bit much. So why don't I start with 2 times a month? I'm writing this down for myself in real time right now because I'm going to make the commitment to myself and I'm making it to you. I'm speaking it out loud to hold me accountable. One thing I have really been missing lately, I danced since I was 3. 3 until even into college. I really miss being a little ballerina. I think I'm going to start my hobby journey with dance classes. I'm going to start by just looking at some on YouTube because I can do that. And then if I really decide that I miss it and love it and maybe I want the community of it, I'll look for adult dance classes. My daughter takes dance here in town. They do offer adult classes, but it's more hip hop, contemporary. That's not so much my feel. I love it. Those women that do it there are awesome, but I want to get my pointe shoes back on and live that life. I did take an adult class here years ago, and you could do like drop in, and it was great. Maybe I can see if that studio is still around, but it was kind of serious. So one of the studios I grew up going to was like fun. Yes, like you learn like fundamental basics, but it was also not super serious. Not everyone in there was training to try to go to Juilliard, right? And that's one thing I like about my daughter's studio is, yeah, you can totally be a serious dancer, but also you can just go and have fun. And I knew I never wanted to actually pursue dance as a career. And so having fun with it is kind of what I'm looking for. Again, fun. Maybe that's my word for the year. Fun, fun, fun. So yeah, I'm going to start with that. I'm going to tell you guys because it's keeping me honest with it. And I would love if you guys would share some of your goals, resolutions. Maybe it's your word, maybe it's an intention, whatever verbiage you use to start a new year. I would love for you to share that with me. Whatever you have, maybe it'll inspire me. It also just keeps each other like accountable. And again, it kind of fosters that community that I'm really hoping to accomplish. Also, if you have hobbies, if you are in your mid 30s, a woman that, a little bit like me, maybe, or maybe even if you're not, but share a hobby, either a new hobby that you've discovered that you're like, oh my gosh, maybe it's pickleball. I did kind of get into pickleball, but I wouldn't say I'm obsessed. I just want to have something that I can always fall back on. That's my go-to. That, again, I just make a commitment to myself and I do, and I find joy in it. So if you have something like that, don't gatekeep it. Share it. Share it with me. What's your secret sauce, right? Let me know. Yeah, I'm excited for the year. Hey, and if you have the idea that you want to get organized this year, I will link to all my, organizing pages that I have tons of helpful hints, tons of videos that will help you start your year right and kind of keep it going, keep you motivated with it. So I will share that with you down below though, just in case you're interested in something like that. But I am looking forward to 2026. Happy New Year. I am so happy you're here. May it be one of our best years yet. Thanks for being here, and I will talk to you again very soon.